Hello, everybody, and welcome to Wowhead Weekly number 189. We are so close to the next patch. Only 1 week remain. Actually, it's even shorter than a week. It's about half a week remaining, and this show will be all about the preparations that are needed for the patch. I'm Annie, also known as Annie Fuchsia. I'm a full-time streamer on Twitch and also your weekly host. My co-host, as usual, is the lovely Perculia.
Hey everyone, I run Wowhead. I also own a cat who likes to destroy things. You might see him as well. He's Brightpaw. And it's always really fun doing the show every week to tell you, what's been popular on Wowhead, let you know about some guides that's going on, and answer your questions about, anything interesting on the site or about the upcoming patch. For this show, we have a giveaway. Sass has set that up. And pulling the info up, drum roll. 30 days of game time, and the keyword is G time. And you just enter in Twitch chat, and it works, I believe, on NA or EU. And if you are a subscriber to His channel, you have 4 times the amount to win. And if you've been watching this for a while, you might say, hey, that seems more than other times. And yeah, we bumped it up, as a kind of thank you to show your support for the show.
Mm-hmm. Like we briefly talked about that last week, how we feel that there's a lot of you guys who actually are subscribed and also for a long time. And for the most part, we even miss every single resub as well. So we don't even thank you. So we're trying to change things a little bit, upping the sub luck on these giveaways, and also just any kind of small thing that we can do. I'm going to put them on here as well in the future. There was just a technical thing where it doesn't work right now, and I don't want to rush into that now, so I'll do it for next week instead. And also just calling out the subs during the show, not in the middle of the conversations, but in between different topics, just to thank you guys. And yes, Sass made a very, very good joke that we shouldn't ignore. Perk, the keyword for the giveaway was actually supposed to be, I'm not even sure if I can read this, supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Do you know where that's from?
It sounds like Harry Potter. I don't know.
It's from a Disney song.
Which one?
Maybe Sass can link it in the chat. But yeah, it's I think it's, let me see.
Oh, it's Mary Poppins? Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is Mary Poppins Disney?
I think it was. I thought it was. It's
well, there you go.
Yeah.
OMG.
So
okay, I had no idea that was Disney. Well, the more you know.
Picture us singing it. Yeah. If you record yourself singing that, you have a greater chance to win the giveaway.
There you go. You record yourself singing it and then you tweet it to Wowhead.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. Thanks to Sass. Getting more involved with people.
We also have a fun nether shard system, which we've seen a lot of people in the chat already using. We've had this set up for a while, and we know you guys have been, gambling with them and gaining more points because points are fun. And we decided to take a lot of our shop merchandise and giveaway items from past parties and make them available through nether shards. So if you've been watching a while, you can, get Wowhead Premium for free, or, a Wowhead pin, or a pin of Annie and I on the show, or even a Wowhead plushie. So you don't need to spend money on this. This is just a thank you. If you watch for a long enough time, you can redeem it using the command, and we will send it to you.
So this is another perfect example of a way for us to give back to the people who are spending a lot of time in the chat or are very lucky with the gambling to get one of these items. And the panel is actually below the show. You can scroll through it. I just took a screenshot of the first things that are showing. And that top right one is a pin of me and Perk. So there you go.
Yep, and we've had this actually running a while in the background, so you should check your position, and you might actually be eligible to get something right now. We didn't want to reset it because a lot of people have spent a lot of time watching, and we thought it wouldn't be fair to erase their efforts, and, maybe now you just suddenly get another perk. Bright Paw is not available for nether shards. Those sounds were just...
Mom, not me. I don't want to go. But yeah, if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask. But hopefully it should be pretty straightforward.
Yep. So, and also big thanks to Sass for setting that up. We were just like, I want to do more stuff, and he's like, oh, look at all these things I added. I'm like, oh, this looks so nice. But yeah, so 815, we learned it comes on the 12th for US and 13th for EU, so that's in a very few days. And it's not like a mega patch, but there's still some stuff you can do to prepare in advance, and Wowhead wrote a guide to this a few days ago, so we'll just run through the things quickly, because even though it's not like, oh, there's a brand new 10 boss raid, there are some things you might want to get done so you're not taken by surprise the day of the patch. So do you want to alternate with these, or I don't know. Yeah, you can go first if you want.
All right, I'll go first. The first one that we have on this list is the requirements for the new allied races. We know that you guys are very, very excited about these, the Kultiran human and Zandalari trolls. To be able to unlock these, what you need is to complete the story quests for the faction that you're interested in. So Exalted with Proudmoore or Zandalari, Proudmoore for Kultiran, Zandalari for the Zandalari trolls, and you need to finish the war campaign. I'm actually working on the war campaign on my Horde character. I just finished the Ready for War part, so I've got the Tides of Vengeance part left. So I'm getting pretty close. I think I'm lacking some reputation, though. I don't play Horde that much. So yeah, there's that. If you want to be ready with allied races on the first day, go do that war campaign. It doesn't take too long. You can make it before that.
Yeah, which ties into another thing you might want to do in advance. If you do war campaigns on both sides, as well as the lore campaigns related to each faction, so, you know, the Pride of Kulturas and then Zandalari Forever, you will get 2 special mounts, an Alliance Wolf and a Horde Horse, and the achievement is called, you know, there are 2 sides to every tale. And yeah, you can only get, it's not... You have to do both to get it. It's not like if you do the Alliance, you know, you get the Wolf. You have to do both sides to get those 2 mounts.
Yeah, I've been slacking. I need to catch up with my Horde side of things so I can get both of the mounts. I'm really happy about those mounts, actually. I love the idea of the Horde getting a horse and the Alliance getting the Wolf, and the armor looks good on them. Like, I don't know, it's not a bad horse, and it's not a bad wolf. I'm very happy.
Yeah, the Alliance gets a very exotic-looking horse for a change.
You mean wolf? Yes.
Yeah, yes. Everything Alliance is a horse, even when it's...
Oh!
Yeah.
Okay, now I get it. Yeah. I'm slow today. Yes, a very exotic horse indeed. Another thing to prepare for are the new epic quest lines for the professions. Wait, what is the skills that you need for them to unlock them?
So you need to be maxed out in the BFA skill level. So you can't just, you know, pick this up the day of the patch. You only get it if you're 150 in Kultiris or Zandalari, whatever the skill is.
Yeah, because I wasn't sure if it's like max or if it's something like 140 or something where you unlock most things. All right, so it's max. So get those expulsums. Probably, depends what profession you have, and max out your profession then. It's time.
Yeah, and do the Dark Moon Fair if you need profession skill ups.
Leave it for the last 5 points is what I would recommend. So 145, go Dark Moon Fair, get the last 5 points, 150, boom. That's what I did on my Paladin actually a few days ago on my blacksmithing.
Yeah. So for the next one, Hati is back as a hunter tame, and to be on the safe side, we're sure many of you already have, you know, gotten the Titan Strike weapon in Legion, but if you haven't, go back, unlock the weapon so you can get Hati, and if you really want to be safe, try unlocking the content related to each color, because all the Hati tints that you can tame might be related to the content they were tied to in Legion. It was a little buggy on the PTR. We're not sure if you need to do the content for the related colors or not, but better be safe than sorry. It would be strange if, you know, you could get like the hidden appearance color of Hati without actually you know, doing that.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
But yeah, Bright Paw is like rambunctious about Hati. He's like, other pet that is not me.
Yeah. Humans, stop talking about those.
And it's a
not
dog.
very nice.
It's a puppy.
Yeah. Another new thing coming up, a little bit of mixed feelings about this one, is the new portal rooms.
Oh, we'll get to that later in the show too. Yeah.
Yes. Do we? Oh yeah, we. Okay. Yeah. I see now. But yeah, prepare for the new portal rooms that are coming up. We will get into a little bit more detail very soon after these points have been gone through, so that we can show you guys what portals we can expect to be there, what portals we're not sure if ever will be added. We'll see.
But yeah, basically, if like some portals are being removed, so now's a good time to buy like teleportation items if you you know, maybe you'll actually need them more if to get to obscure places. I apologize for my cat.
No, it's okay.
Another thing which we've discussed in the past, which you should still keep in the back of your mind, is that time walking for Warlords of Draenor is coming in 8.15, but later in the patch, so it's coming in May. And there are two new mounts at 5,000 each, and that's 10,000 total. So you might want to save up for them, or remember to do, Northrend time walking next week, and then the one in April, so you can buy the Warlords ones right away.
Mm-hmm. I checked my main, and she already had over 5,000, so I was like, okay, that's great. I can buy one of the mounts.
There you go.
And then I checked all of my ults, and one of my ults had 4,000, and I was like, okay, in that case, I'm gonna do one to get that weekly quest of 500 badges. So I did the last time walking run, and then I'll do that same quest next time, and I'll have exactly 5,000. So I'm prepared.
Yep.
I'm gonna get both as soon as it happens.
Yeah.
Another new thing are the new pets that are coming up in Darkmoon Faire, which we will also give a quick talk on a little bit later. And for the 3 new pets that will be available, you will need 270 Darkmoon tickets. And you don't need to have them all on the same character, but you would need, 90, I think, per character.
Yeah, 90 per character.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't done the Silas Stash treasure quest, I believe that's 100 tickets, so you could do that on new alts and get some tickets that way.
Do we know if they're tradable yet?
Let me check. I think let me check in the data,
because they could possibly make decent gold in the first day, maybe.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. Let me just pull up the database pages, what they say.
When you do the dailies, you get around 6 tickets, right? I think.
Or
is it more? Well, you can also do the weeklies, though, which give like 10,
the dailies,
15.
The weeklies, and then like the books you can turn in. The Murloc balloon is not cageable.
Okay.
The horse balloon... Yeah, these so far seem to be marked as not cageable.
Okay, yeah, so probably none of them are cageable then. And that is also very true. I see the comment in the chat. Pet battle dailies, yes, they are also very good. I think they give at least 10 each as well, something like that. Or I think maybe one gives like 5, one gives 15. I'm not sure, but they give a lot. Maybe 5 and 10.
Yeah. We have these, I can see if maybe Sass can link the exact part in the guide. We have a full ticket breakdown in the guide. I think it's you get 105 if you complete both pet dailies 7 days, and then 80 for dungeon and PvP books, 42 for completing the 6 mini games, 17 for profession and secondary, 10 for turning in Grizzly token, and I'll drop this into the Discord for Sass, and maybe he can link it in chat. Where is he?
You can put it in the doc too if you want. I can link it as well. Yeah, if it's easy.
All right, I linked it to him.
All right,
but yeah, if you purchase the Faded Treasure Map for 100 Darkmoon Daggermaw, that starts a quest to get Silas's secret stash that has 100 tickets in it.
Yes.
So
that's actually really good.
That's a great way to get that really quickly on ults. Also, maybe they're not cageable. Like, they're balloons. They're not really they don't have stats. You can't fight with them. They're just companion pets. So,
that makes sense.
But yeah, they're super cute.
Yeah, I saw them. They are indeed very cute. Yeah, that was the quick breakdown of all the things to prepare for. And we'll dive into a few of them as well to give a little bit more info. And the first one up are the portals.
Very controversial topic.
Yes.
We were all really excited to see that the portal rooms were coming.
Oh, for sure.
In 815, and there's sort of a darker underside to it, where that some portals are going away, different portals. So, for example, the Caverns of Time portal is no longer present. The portals in the Dalaran Center, like to Karazhan or to the Crater, they might be available on the related quest, but they won't be there permanently. So, this caused an uproar last week when we reported on this. And it kept going. So we reported on this. People asked Blizzard about it. They asked for feedback, and people got confused because Blizzard said, why would you want to go to Caverns of Time or all these places? And people are saying, well, because of transmog and old world farming, and why are you asking me this? You should know why we go here. And Blizzard asked for a lot of feedback, and they got like thousands of posts of feedback. And then they released a statement a few days ago saying that the point was to consolidate travel and add some consistency. And basically, I think they said that Ironforge not being in the portal room was a mistake, and also that the quest to obscure places, part of the portals that were part of quest, would still be there. But yeah, it's intended that a lot of these portals from obscure places like Shatrath and Legion Dalaran or Northrend Dalaran will be going away for the sake of consistency, which led to more uproar. I had a tweet that was kind of popular about this because it's nice when the world just feels organic, and if you see portals going to weird places, you might just want to hop on and take them and go to a place you might not actually go to, or your mind might be jogged and say, oh, I'll go to Caverns of Time to, farm this for transmog. Well, if it wasn't there, it may not cross your mind. Or, it's like if Thunder Bluff is hard to get to and has the same things as Orgrimmar, and everyone's being funneled to Orgrimmar, like, why would you take an extra to Thunder Bluff? But if it was there in front of you, you might say, oh yeah, I have choice and variation. I'm going to hang out at this different city for a change.
Yeah.
So I also find the terms consistency weird when discussing the world, because it's a living, breathing world, and consistency sounds very, I don't know, like master planning. Like, we're not building a planned community where you need to have like a residential district and then, a traffic light every 2 blocks and a school every 4 blocks. It just sounds like, I know it makes sense on paper if stuff isn't messy, but part of the charm of the world is to have just stuff that, is there that maybe doesn't totally make sense, but it feels alive. And like I said, takes you back to some older parts of the game that you wouldn't necessarily have thought about otherwise.
Yeah. And it's also a fun discussion too. Like, imagine like you're with friends and then you're trying to figure out who knows the best route to get somewhere. If you have more routes, it's more fun. Like if the only route is to fly for half an hour, that's not as fun.
Yeah, and there's so many cities and they all have such beautiful assets, and everyone's like sort of getting funneled to Stormwind and Orgrimmar. It's like, well, what about Ironforge? Well, even Darnassus and Undercity, I guess they went away, but they were beautiful. Like the Mist of Pandaria cities are gorgeous.
Yes, I love Mist of Pandaria City.
They're just like totally out of the way. So it feels a bit weird, and it's really too bad because it feels like this was it was like a success for Blizzard, and it sort of turned into a failure from something that seemed very hype starting at BlizzCon. Like when they said a portal room was coming, I don't think people realized that
portals are getting removed.
Right. I feel like if they added maybe 1 or 2 important ones, that could be a good compromise. Like if they added back the NPC to like an NPC to get to Caverns of Time, that could you know, like a really popular one that could be a compromise. Like maybe we don't need all 12 portals back, but some of the more convenient ones could be back.
I'm looking at this list here. If I haven't made a mistake, there is a list here with from Dalaran Legion all the portals that are going away, and then Shrine of the Seven Stars all the portals that are going away, Dalaran, Northrend, and Stormwind Orgrimmar. And it says Hellfire Peninsula is going away. So
yeah, I'm not sure if that one is. I need to check that one again. But okay. Yeah, a lot is going away. And I would even argue that some of the ones in Legion Dalaran, like Dalaran Crater, may not sound like a big deal if you're Horde, but to Alliance, like that's a way to get to the northern part of Eastern Kingdoms that you wouldn't necessarily do otherwise. And there's lots of little stuff to do there, like, you know, battle pets, farming, you know, the Black Tabby Cat. There's some like weird transmog items in that area. Or even just an Alliance character being able to go to a, you know, Horde-centric area, an area that is like the ruins of, you know, their former kingdom, like seeing it's close to like South Shore in ruins, you know, Lordaeron. It's like, you know, it's not harming anyone having them there.
I see somebody saying that there's a portal to Shattrath as an answer to somebody who said, how are you going to go to Hellfire then to quest? The Shattrath portal is actually also gone. So, this is the...
Sorry, go ahead. I guess maybe there's something still left on the Dark Portal. I'm not sure. But yeah, it just seems weird to remove stuff after so many years.
Somebody in the chat mentions that you can talk to an NPC to get ported. So yeah, I mean, all of these things are very, like, we don't know the final word on everything. We will see next week, but we're just giving you guys an idea of how this looks like, at least on the PTR. So for the Alliance, these are the portals that you have access to. So, wait, it does say Shattrath, actually. Never mind. There is Shattrath.
Okay.
I was wrong. There is Shattrath. So Exodar, Shattrath, Dalaran, Northrend, the Jade Forest, Storm Shield Ashran, Asuna, and Brawler. And so the Jade Forest one is the one that's been moved then from the Pet Battle Trainer area, close to the other portals, and it's been moved to this portal room. That makes sense.
Yeah, I think people were saying the new position is slightly less convenient, but it is something. A lot of people also thought that Azuna was kind of a weird choice.
Yes. I wonder why.
Like, yeah. But yeah, it is what it is. It's just, yeah.
I do like that Storm Shield is added.
Yeah, that I think that's good. It's not all bad. It's just it was presented that we were sort of gaining a portal room, but it was more like we're consolidating into a portal room.
And these are the Horde equivalents. So as you can see, Thunderbluff and Ironforge are not on here, but they did say in the blue post. Yeah, they did say in the blue post that Ironforge will be there. So yeah, not final as mentioned.
All the teleportation items will also be appearing. So like they're not going away. So for example, there is a ring you can get by gaining rep in Karazhan that teleports you to Karazhan. While the Karazhan portal in Dalaran is going away, you can use that ring to get to Karazhan. Or there is a trinket that has a teleportation to the Timeless Isle if you need to farm rares in Mists of Pandaria. So, you know, you could use that as well to get to some of the places. I don't think there's anything for Dalaran Crater, but you can, you know, a mage, I believe, can take you there.
Wait, isn't Twilight Highlands up there?
Yeah, the Cataclysm portals aren't going away, so Twilight Highlands can take you to that area. Caverns of Time, there is an NPC in Shattrath, and the Uldum portal is kind of close by, so you could take that as well. So there are workarounds. It's just, I thought the portal room was going to be like a nice centralized place for newer players that wanted convenience, and the old portals would just stay there for the people that, you know, have their own quirky routes of doing things. Like they're not harming anyone being there. It kind of makes story purposes, I think, for some of them to be there. Like Dalaran is a city of mages. Why did we remove all these portals from like the center of the city.
Yeah, no, I thought the same. I thought this is a cleanup of the game, you know? Like, it must get annoying every expansion to add a random portal somewhere. Like, we have to remember, like, oh yeah, if I want to go to Dalaran Legion, I have to go to the Keep and then move left. And then if I want to go, there's another portal where when you go straight into the King and then go to the right, I forgot where that portal goes to. But that one is also to somewhere. And then there is a portal, the Jade Forest one, which is by the water near the Cataclysm portals. Everything felt so random, and especially for a new player, those things being so like scattered is really weird. So I actually really liked the idea, or I still do like the idea of a portal room. I think it's great, you know, put all of those together in one centralized place. But losing portals is not fun though. Portals that you're used to for years, losing them is not fun.
Yeah, so yeah, like I said, it's if you are new and you just want to know where you're going to in Stormwind, Portal Room is great. But if you're someone that, you know, just sometimes like hanging out in a random place, like an old mop city, or getting to Caverns of Time or Dalaran Crater or something, it seems kind of weird. Especially because I think Blizzard said that they used to be more regular about their cleanups, but they didn't clean up as much leading into BFA. So it feels like a shock that middle of the expansion, stuff is changing all of a sudden. Like we usually seem more, not forgiving, but like we're more used to things changing in that pre-patch. But this is like, oh, we forgot to do this for several expansions, so now grats, you get to have like everything changed at once during this random small content patch. We do have a transportation guide on Wowhead that we were updating. We still have to make more updates to it because, you know, the things keep changing on the PTR, but it should be ready for launch. And the guide also has a full list of all teleportation items, so you can decide which you might want to farm. Like, there's even a Ruby Slippers Hearthstone from Karazhan as well. There's so many... There's actually a lot of teleportation items that can get you around the world, so you can stock up on some of those if your favorite portal is going away.
I hope they realize, like with the Ironforge one, and do put some of those back. I don't know, Caverns of Time, especially in the old Dalaran, feels very classic. Like, it's been there for so long. It feels weird to remove it.
Yeah, and I think that some of the portals, like, if they were added and there was a lore purpose or a quest tied to them back in the day, it feels weird to suddenly remove it. Like, I think they added the Dalaran portal back when there was the story with, you know, Arthas and the culling of Stratholme dungeon. So it seems weird to, I don't know, it feels like it just seems like you're sort of removing things that could be related to the story or adding to the ambiance. And it looks weird seeing just these empty alcoves as well.
I've seen a couple people mention mages. Yes, mages will keep all of their portals. That has not changed, so you are very fine. I saw another question, but I kind of forgot what it was. That was also related to portals. But if you have any questions, just at SAS, and we can always come back to it later, no problem.
Yep. So before we get on to the next topic, we just want to remind you that we have a giveaway in the chat for 30 days of game time. The keyword is G time. And we also wanted to remind you that we have set up our Nether Shards store. So the longer you watch, the more points you earn, and you can redeem them for things like Wowhead Premium, plushies, and even pins of me and Annie.
Yeah, the Wowhead Weekly pin. I actually...
we've had people redeeming stuff.
I should have shown it. Yeah, it looks like we have two people. Kenthund, who redeemed a plushie and 3 pins. How many points did Kenthund have? This is exactly what you were talking about, how we didn't reset the points. This is so that people who've been here for a long time feel like, you know, that time was not wasted in terms of claiming rewards. So there you go. He or she just got 4 items. That's awesome. And then we have Ashley Bithia redeeming points to get a carnival pin. Over 60k. Oh, apparently he gambled 30k and got to 60k.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow. That's a big gamble. But yeah, thanks, guys. Hope you like those items. We also had some subs in this time. We had Born to be Killed and Nick Townrow and Aegis with subs and resubs. Thank you guys so much for that. Actually, I missed one name. My bad. Silver Solar as well for the sub. Thank you. And then we got Hero Guy supporting with 100 bits. Thank you for that as well. But yeah, for the giveaway, you just type GTime in the chat, and then you should be eligible.
Yep. So for the next topic, we wanted to discuss, kind of related to the Allied Race Prep. The World Quest bonus event is here for the week, and as usual, every other month, it lines up with the Dark Moon Fair in town. So what that means is that you get 50% bonus rep for World Quest, and then with the Dark Moon Fair, if you ride the carousel or wear the top hat, you get 10% rep gains in general, so you get 60% extra rep from World Quests. That's not the emissaries, but that does add up if you are working on your allied races, or just want an extra boost to move towards some more Paragon chests.
I'm doing that. I still have the mount from Dreamweaver missing.
The unicorn!
Yes, yeah. I have all of the other ones from Legion Paragon boxes, but I'm missing the Dreamweaver one, so I've been doing the quests, I think 3 rounds now since the reset. So hopefully, I've opened 1 chest so far and not lucky.
And that's a great point, how it's not just the BFA World Quest, it's World Quest in general. So this can work if you care about Legion Paragon mounts as well as Legion allied races, even though they were made easier to grind out, I believe, in 8.1 with the doubling of the World Quest rep.
Was it double for every single rep? Or only certain ones?
I thought it was definitely was for Argusian and
yes, because of the Army races.
They did say it was meant to be for all 4, and I saw some bugs where it glitched the first time because the game got confused with the World Quest event, and then the bonus rep, so it was like deleting rep. It was weird. Like you actually earned less rep during the World Quest week.
That's
I didn't know how the bonuses would stack. Yeah, I think that's all fixed now, but you know, definitely check your rep totals before you turn a bunch of quests, and there's actually some weird glitch with it.
And there may not be any mounts, but there are Paragon boxes in BFA as well. I know I'm missing 2 of the items at least. I think I'm missing Tortolan and Proudmoore.
I don't think that's in the game. A lot of people haven't gotten the Tortolan.
Oh, really?
one. Yeah, I wonder if it's glitched.
Oh, that's interesting. I had no
idea. But there's more rewards coming in 8.15. Sorry, not rewards. There's more Tortolan World Quests coming in 8.15.
Good. So, because it takes so long to get a Paragon box for them.
Yeah. Including the one where you kill the crabs you free the crabs instead of helping the turtles. You kill the turtles.
I'm not happy with the quest type though.
I know.
I'm not sure if I'm gonna do them anymore.
There's a more boring one called Calligraphy, where you trace a bunch of runes similar to the Azuna one. So that's another option if you don't want to kill the baby turtles.
Yes, I don't want to kill the turtles. But yeah, so that was just a bit of live news. We have another topic, but I want to quickly go back to the previous one. Apparently, Hero Guy did not only donate 100 bits, but he also subscribed. So thank you.
Awesome.
We missed that name, but thank you. So just a quick thank you there, and then we can move on.
Yep. So we were talking about the Dark Moon Fair before, how there's the 3 balloon pets, which I think we've shown before. We can link the article again if we want to refresh people's minds, but there's not only balloons, there are fish heads you can wear that are gigantic and neon, and we're sure nothing bad will happen.
Yeah, no, just innocent fish, you know, nothing at all. N'Zoth did not appear as a fish or anything like that, you know. Just
and the colors of the fish, they're like red and blue, and we've never seen those colors before. And wow, like never. I can't think of any similarity.
That is completely random.
Yep. So, you can fish up the severed heads in the waters surrounding Dark Moon Isle. The item lasts for a day. These are not transmoggable, but you can, you know, wear them, and they do work for cutscenes, so you can look silly in a cutscene wearing a fish head.
That's brilliant.
Yep. It's like, we've defeated the Crucible of Storms. We're confronting Sylvanas and fish head. But yeah, it does seem kind of ominous. We've seen lots of interesting fish things at the Darkman Fair over the years, but nothing that's a gigantic oversized head. And it ties in with a lot of the creepy hints we've been getting over the past few months. Like there is a quest talking about Murlocs avoiding areas with boiling water and experiments going on with the life underwater, and the fish are fleeing the area. And it's like, oh, like, are there gigantic mutated fish that the Naga are trying to hack into bits now? And like you said, N'Zoth showed up as a fish in Warbringer's Ashara. And Red and Blue, Horde and Alliance. And we last month I wrote an article discussing a lot of creepy parallels with the old gods in the Darkmoon Fair, like the blinking eyeball and the references to the Master and the Black Forest, and how we don't even know where the fair is because it's not on the map. It could be in a different dimension. So is this a silly carnival item, or is this something more and creepy related to the old gods kind of being creepy in general, and tying in with the other 815 hints we've seen of, creepy things showing up in funny areas like Trial of Style or the Brawlers Guild funny things we just assume are for relaxation, but now they have this darker element to them.
I guess we'll see. And somebody in the chat asked why they would not be transmoggable. I think there's a lot of items in the game that are not transmoggable simply because it would look too ridiculous, and I assume that that's the reason. What do you think, Perk?
Yeah, I think it would. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And maybe they want you to go to the fair to keep fishing them. That's why they only have the day duration. So you can, if you go to the fair,
duration too.
Yeah, which is only up for 1 week, then you can look silly, but outside of the fair, you don't have that benefit.
Oh, right. Gotcha. Yeah, then it makes even more sense.
Yeah. So we wanted to also discuss more pets with raiding with leashes. This is you can go back to, speaking of Pandaria, you can go back to Pandaria and you can get a bunch more cute battle pets from the tier 14 instances. So Mogushan, Heart of Fear, and Terrace of Endless Springs, which is also interesting because one of the island expedition quests is talking about bad things happening in Pandaria, like we're finding I don't know what's the right word. We're finding relics talking about necromancy and the Mogu, and we're finding that the Mantid are swarming because they're welcoming their new empress, and the Mantid worship the old gods, so that's probably not good if the Mantid are all excited and energized. So, you could actually learn more. Maybe if Pandaria is coming back as a plot point, you can actually learn some more about Pandaria by familiarizing yourself in these 3 instances. So are there any pets that stand out to you as being particularly cute or noteworthy?
I was showing a slide. So the one that was showing previously to this one, we do have that elemental pet in the past, but it's still very cute, looking very golden. And the one that's showing right now, the astral one, I love it.
Yeah, the Elegon one.
Yes. That's what I
would
say.
So yeah, if you get all of them, you get a pet called Happiness, which is a little happy Shaw battle pet. And I'm going to see about adding this to the guide, but there's a lot of stuff you might get along the way while you're doing this. For example, Elegon has the Astral pet, but it also has the Astral Cloud Serpent mount drop. And there's lots of achievements you can get from the raid. There's lots of kind of interesting Shaw-touched transmog. Mogushan has unique Mogu transmog that's different than Heart of Fear and Terrace of Endless Springs. I believe if you do all the achievements, you can get a Cloud Serpent to ride. So, you might want to keep an eye out for transmog and other mount drops along the way.
Which pet stood out for you, Perk?
So I liked the Elegon one. And Bright Paw is in the way.
No, Mom, don't look at other pets.
Exactly. I thought that the Azure Windstrider is cute, the little cloud serpent, because it reminded me of the Order of the Cloud Serpent grind and how they look really cute when chasing their tails, and how it was really fun to, I don't know, protect them.
I remember.
I like seeing the flavor text of these because, you know, it sounds more human. So like even the little baby Shah, the Ravenous Prideling, it's like, oh, it was a spawner of the most dangerous Shah. This little monster has some big plans, but he needs to wait a few thousand years first. Like, oh, it's like a kitten. It's like a cat that's not a, you know, lion yet. I don't know. It sort of gave me Bright Paw vibes. It's a little Shah.
Yeah. He's too small now. Or she.
Yep. I wonder what, I guess maybe they're just it.
Maybe just it, yeah.
Yeah. No, I think it's a she because it's a spawn from it drops from Grand Empress, so I'm gonna say it's a she.
All right. We've decided it's a she now.
Yep. But yeah, so these are also things that you can grind when the patch comes out. And this is the 6th rating with Leash's achievement, so there are many other ones to get. And we have a guide to this, and we've highlighted in the guide what are the bosses you want to target. So, for example, in Terrace of Endless Springs, you only have to go through Lei Shi. You don't need to solo Shah of Fear because no pets drop from Shah of Fear.
Good to know.
And you can do these twice a week, one normal difficulty, and then you can also do the looking for raid wings because they're on different lockouts.
Well, there you go. All the tips and tricks. The next topic here is something that we kind of talked about before, actually. The Brawlers Guild is coming back in 815, and we talked about how there's a new mount, Bruce, and he is a reward for finishing the Murder Mystery, which was the little quest line that is new to Brawlers Guild.
Yeah, the quest line is interesting because it makes you get certain ranks and do stuff to progress in the quest line. So you already will have done a lot of the Brawlers Guild fights by the time you complete it. And Bruce looks pretty cool. We've gotten lots of good feedback. They're like, oh man, like he's almost like a shop mount. Like he's so detailed and unique. Like I can just do a quest to get him. This is cool.
Yeah.
And he's very spiky.
Like
we've seen.
Mount.
No, we've gotten the feedback. They're like, oh,
like,
wow, he looks so cool. I thought he was one.
Yeah.
And there's a matching transmog set. By itself, it's a little like plain or fight club, but it matches Bruce pretty well. It's a spiky set for reaching rank 8, and there are blue tints for Alliance and orangey tints for Horde. There are also a lot of new bosses, and some ranks have been swapped around. So, for example, rank 7, you can fight a Hyper Mega Seagull 9000. And it's like the Seagull has like rockets on him and stuff. And there's lots of other ones like Mama Storm Stout, the Spy Master, Tide Mistress, Shellbreaker, Philip Carter Tracy, and a few others that you can fight either as brawls or as you're just grinding up through the ranks. And the Murder Mystery is funny because as you're investigating, like all of the enemies you fight are also present because, you know, they're there for the entertainment as well. You know, they're not evil. They're just like, oh yeah, like I'm the opponent in the ring. Like, you know, we're at this trial together. So it's sort of funny breaking down. It's like, oh, like what do the monsters do when they're not fighting you? Oh, they have their own lives as well.
Yeah. And there's guides as usual. If you're not sure how to beat the bosses, you can check out the Wowhead guides for all of them.
Yeah, there was tons of shirts. We actually split the guide out into 2 guides, one on the fight strategies and then one on the rewards because, you know, the Brawlers Guild has been around since MOP, so more and more keeps being added and the guide was getting pretty enormous. So we split them out, and the rewards guide will go over like Bruce and the transmog, and then there's a ton of shirts you can get from various rumbles or like doing the challenge cards, stuff like that. But it's a pretty fun event. I've also seen a lot of feedback that people are excited for this because it reminds them of the Mage Tower in a way because it's a solo challenge they can do. I don't think it's as hard as a Mage Tower, especially because with testing, it counts as war mode. so you can have extra war mode talents, but it's still a nice solo thing to do on your own time. That's not tied to RNG. So
okay. A lot of people are gonna pick war mode then, but that does mean if you switch war mode off, you'll have less queues if your server is populated.
Right. So yeah, I hope it does well. I hope it shows that there's an audience for more solo content you can do at your own pace, as opposed to like, well, if I don't do this now, like the reset will happen and I, can't get my Titan Forge piece. But yeah, I bring back the Mage Tower basically.
We also got this was an update.
Yeah.
This is a more
Friday
fun
night.
Update. Yeah.
Yeah, Friday night last minute update. There is more allied race customization.
Yeah. Let me get those pictures up.
Which was a very nice surprise. There were 4 different types of customization. The first was that for Kul Tiras men, there were many beard and facial hair options, but there wasn't a combo to have all the options together with a full beard. And
there you go.
Yep, now we have it.
So if you want it to be very beard full, here it is. You can now look like Santa.
Yep. Oh, that should be some really fun. I'm thinking of Christmas. Like there should be a Kultiris human, like Santa or Great Father Winter.
Oh my god, that's actually brilliant. Just sitting outside the keep or something.
Yeah, like Tradewind Market, we can have it by the docks, and you can have this Christmas tree that's covered in like nets and like fishing junk as the ornaments, and they can be like, oh, here are my gifts from the sea.
Oh, that's great. I need to create a Kultiran male just for that one day.
Yeah.
Dress him in Santa clothing.
Yep. Free winter veil tip for Blizzard if you're trying to improve the holidays. The ladies also receive some options. There are 2 brand new ways to customize them. There are necklaces as well as earrings. And I think the necklaces, for the most part, are cool, but there are some really missed opportunities here. Like, the necklaces cover a lot of shells, but they need that gigantic Ashvane Azurite neck to be an option. And I guess the Lord Admiral's pendant wouldn't make lore sense, but I'm sure, like, some sort of anchor pendant, I feel, could be something as well.
I agree. I thought about that, too. I was actually looking through them quickly to see if any of them is an anchor, and none of them is.
Yeah. The shells, I think, are cool. It's just, more of them would be cool.
They could have had earrings, too, like anchor earrings.
Yeah, I agree with that. Their earrings are mostly silver with a few kind of, like, sea green gems, which aren't bad. It's just, more variation is always appreciated, especially because the Zandalari are so over the top with, like, here's my gilded necklace and gigantic gold earrings. It's like, well, the Kultiras, as we learned last week, are not purposely ostentatious and bright gold, but having variation does show their personality, even if it's more subtle.
Definitely, yes.
And speaking of Zandalari, they have a lot of customization options, but their faces were kind of basic. So Blizzard added new faces for male and female Zandalari.
There it is, showing on the screen.
Yep. All of these options. Cool. Yeah, I really like the female one. Like, she looks very dignified. Maybe it's the way her hair is pulled back, but I think it looks cool.
I like them both. I like the patches on the faces.
Yeah, those are fun. All of these options are in the Wowhead dressing room, so if you want to play around with them in advance and create your character now versus waiting around on Tuesday, you can do that. And dress them up in the heritage armor and all sorts of good stuff.
Yeah, to play around with to see what you might want to use when it's finally out.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the next topic, we could quickly thank the subscribers. We had 2 subscribers in the past few minutes. Nonkey01, thank you very much. And also Quarters576, thank you for the subs. I also want to remind you guys that there is a giveaway going on, G time to enter it, and what is being given away is 30 days of game time in World of Warcraft. And both EU and NA, you just gotta tell us tell Sass probably, which one that you want, and he will fix a code for you. So that's what's going on. Also, apparently, Ashley Bithia, you have your whispers blocked, so Sass is not able to whisper you. So for you to claim your carnival pin, he will need you to whisper him so that you guys can talk. So yeah, Sass wanted us to let you know so that you don't miss the opportunity to get your pin that you very well deserve. So there you go. Hopefully Ash is still here listening.
Yep. So we wanted to discuss the profession quest lines a little bit more. As you've been following along on Wowhead, we have been leveling all of our characters to 120 on the PTR and then maxing out professions so we can unlock the profession quest line and then grinding out a bunch of dungeons to get the items to drop to craft the items. We've been covering a few quest lines every week, and this past week we covered two that I think are the potentially most dark, that have interesting implications for the story and kind of sort of end on a troubling note. So this first one we covered earlier today was the inscription questline for the Sanguine Feather Quill of Lanathel. And this is a quill that lets you make blood contracts, and then we summon different blood beasts that come to our aid outside in the world. And this comes across a little funny because usually we look down upon blood magic. You know, King Rastakhan outlawed the practice among the Zandalari. We are fighting against the blood trolls in Nazmir. We are fighting against what the blood trolls worship in Uldir. We are fighting back in Icecrown Citadel, and we kill Blood Queen Lanathel. And here we are signing these books of blood, going through all these very bloody rituals just to get a quill so we can summon a bloody bear or stag outside. It's very uncomfortable. It's like, you know, it's like we're just sort of doing whatever it takes to gain, you know, little bits of power. And it's like, are we any better than the, you know, we're like, oh, we need to invade them. We need to, like, look down upon them because they're using this type of magic. But then we turn around and do the same thing.
Yeah, exactly like the blood trolls.
Yeah, and even the avatar of Sacrifice Stag, when you die, when things around you die, it will drain the blood of things around you to heal you. And it's this, like, massive chain of red, and it's just like, this isn't like, oh, well, you know, like, maybe it's like a little blood ritual, or it's like, you know, a blood death knight using it to tank. It's like, this is like overkill amounts of blood.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm comfortable with all the blood either. Like, this must be something bad. Like, that's a lot of blood.
Even when I was, there's like some squishy effects in the quest line, so when I was transcribing it, I'm like, oh, this sounds weird. I don't, like, let me turn the sound off as I'm doing it, because I'm not with blood. But yeah, it's just in a few of the quest lines we've seen us doing questionable things to gain power, and this one I think is definitely one of them. And it's like, I don't really think this was a good idea to go ahead with this, because we were not really showing we can control things with Azerite, and now we are playing with blood magic.
And I feel like there's more and more things that we are doing, which is like, why are we doing that? Should we be doing that? It's getting more and more creepy.
Yeah, like, I'm looking even at the start of the quest, it's like, hey, I have something exciting to tell you about. Inscribing your name in the Bloodbound Ledger allows you to learn how to craft blood contracts. It can hurt a little bit, but are absolutely worth it.
Yeah.
It's like,
okay, then.
I don't know about this. And
what
then
does
it's like,
hurt a little bit mean?
Well, you prick your finger, you start writing in the books, and like, it's just like, oh, this is worth it. You get to summon something cool. And then I'm thinking, so if we go out in the world and we've got this kind of corrupted blood magic being next to us, isn't that bad for everything around us? You know, we're not like practicing magic secretly. We're practicing this blood magic to summon beasts that are magical beasts of blood, and we're making it run around Kultiras and Zandalar with us and siphon the blood of dead animals to heal us, and it seems like we're almost flaunting it.
Yeah, it really does.
That is not good.
No.
The other quest, we come across more heroicin, but other bad things are happening. It is the tailoring questline, and in this one, there is a member of the Bronze Dragonflight that appears to be from a different timeline because they've never been to Azeroth before. And she introduces herself as Time Weaver Delorme, and that she is the last surviving member of a group called the Synchronous Tailors, and their goal was to make sure the fabric of time stayed mended. And she arrived in Azeroth because there were so many tears and she was trying to heal everything up. This quest goes badly because we learn that the creature causing all the havoc and killing the different versions of Delorme in alternate timelines is a member of the Infinite Dragonflight that was sort of missing at large since Warlords of Draenor when they helped Garrosh escape. So the Infinite Dragonflight was created by the old gods. The old gods tricked Nazdormu into kind of shattering the time ways and becoming an alternate version of himself. And it's not good that a dragonflight created by the old gods is back. And they are very much on wanting like one specific timeline to gain power, and they don't want alternate timelines. So they are now killing all the extra versions of Delorme, and she is able to defeat the Infinite Dragon doing this, but in the process loses her ability to mend time. So that seems like a win for the Infinite Dragonflight, especially because they were able to wipe out all others of her kind. Now, we know that Azeroth has weavers that are different than Delorme, so it's like, will the Infinite Dragonflight now, turn their attention to Azeroth and wipe out our equivalent branch of Time Weavers? That would not be good. And it also reminds me of the Deaths of Chromie scenario, in which Chromie is puzzled why she sees herself dying in multiple time ways and doesn't know who's doing it. Because there's a parallel to Delorme also seeing dead bodies of herself dressed differently in multiple time ways, we're like, oh, like maybe the Infinite Dragonflight is always trying to keep attacking the Bronze Dragonflight until they give in to their one true path, which is related to the old gods. So it ends on a really dark note where all of her kin are gone and she has lost her power. And she's just like, well, I can't do anything anymore, but maybe you can help mend rifts using this artifact. And it sort of feels like a loss for us.
I'm a little distracted. Luna just came here, and she's looking at me with her very big eyes.
Aww.
She's just sitting here on my lap.
Aww. I wish Bright Paw would sit on my lap. Oh no, you just made Bright Paw do the same. He's like touching microphone. Thank you for the idea. I haven't done this in a minute.
Oh, did you hear it when she touched the microphone?
Yep.
Yeah, she touched it. And now she's just laying here purring.
Yeah, I can hear her purring.
Yeah?
Yep. She's like purring right into it.
She is. It was nice to be reminded of the Chromie scenario as well. I actually really enjoyed that scenario. It was really fun.
Yeah, it took us to a lot of important moments that were, if you think about it more, were also related to the old gods. Like, we went to Hyjal, and that was related to, the elemental invasion and the chaos of Deathwing, and then we learned that N'Zoth was behind, Deathwing and raising him up in the Hour of Twilight. So you're like, is the Infinite trying to bring back, N'Zoth's great plan in Cataclysm and right things that didn't go according to plan. But yeah, I'm very worried what's going to happen as a result of this. If the, Infinite Dragonflight, got rid of this one group that was in one timeline, maybe are they going to turn the attention to the group that's on Azeroth next and try to prevent more Time Walkers from mending time? But yeah, it just seems. Plus, the Dragonflight was already in bad shape because, since the events of Dragon Soul, they were more precarious, losing a lot of their powers to defeat Deathwing. And it seems that we've seen like Sarah, was killed. A lot of bad things have been happening to the dragons since then. But meanwhile, the Infinite Dragonflight is back. The Twilight Dragonflight we thought was defeated. They are back as well. The Black Dragonflight we thought was mostly defeated. They are back as well through Island Quest. So it seems that a lot of these dragonflights that keep causing trouble. Yep. While the ones that help us are in a very weakened, rebuilding state.
Yeah. I see Brightpaw as well. I think it's because it's story time now. I saw somebody in the chat wonder if it's normal that Perk is doing the talking. And when it's to do with lore, yes. Perk is the expert. There's no reason for me to talk about lore if we have an expert here, right? It's just how it is. I like
hearing your opinions. But yeah, I mean, like, I'm the one that's writing up the article on it, so I don't mind talking about it.
Yeah, no, of course.
But yeah.
Oh, okay, she's gone now, I think. She found my hairband. So she wants to pick it up and run away. I think. No, she's actually... I don't know. She's unsure about what she wants to do now.
Yeah, Brightpaw is off as well. He's like...
Yeah, she's off.
Yeah. So what professions are you... I'm trying to think of which quests y'all have to face.
I am doing tailoring and enchanting. Those are my two professions. So I'll be going through this, yeah.
Yeah. I almost forgot the best part that was not lore related. It's good for collectors. So you can use this thread to, if you find a rift, you use the item to hold it up and you can extract some cloth from it. And there's a small chance an NPC spawns that sells a lot of hard to find patterns. Like Belt of the Archmage or like Robe of Winter Night, things that were removed in Cataclysm. So, yeah.
I actually heard about profession patterns coming back. I didn't realize it's like straight like that. That's awesome. I'm excited about that because I did miss some Cataclysm patterns because at the time I wasn't as aware of things getting removed from the game, so I didn't try to, get them all before they're gone. It was more like later on realizing like, oh, this is not in the game anymore. I just farmed this mob forever for no reason, or the mobs that drop these are now gone. Like, what am I supposed to do? So yeah, that's nice. That's nice. That means I can get some of those patterns again. I think my cat might actually be hungry.
Yeah, I heard her meowing.
Yeah. Just I think she might be hungry. She's started to become more spoiled. Always wants wet food now. Like, she has dry food and she's just like, nope, mommy, I want new wet food, okay?
That's the one thing about Brightpaw. He's like fussy with wet food and he almost prefers dry food. So I don't have to worry about... dry? Well, he has very nice, expensive dry food, but yeah, he's...
That's good. That's very convenient.
He likes to snack, but then if you leave wet food out, it's weird. So like he's like, this wet food's out too long. I don't want it. But like I can't keep like moving it in and out of the freezer and heating it up for him every few minutes.
Yeah.
So he's pretty happy with mostly dry food.
That's funny. Cats are so picky.
Yes, they are.
All right.
But yeah, tailoring. One final note: when the trader appears, it's only for I think 5 minutes at a time. So, and the recipes cost the deep sea satin. So,
so the items that we have currently.
Yeah. So have a lot of that in your bag, so you don't blow it when you see the trader. So you can actually buy stuff before it despawns. Like I think the most expensive one is 150, but they're all in like the 50. 150 range.
Okay.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That leaves us to our last topic. Crucible of Storms now has an official release date. April 16th. Middle of April. I think we were kind of expecting it to be in April, right?
Yeah, I think that would make sense. And then we're thinking 8-2 in May at some point.
So Crucible of Storms is a small raid, 2 bosses only. It's not really an item level upgrade gear-wise. Although maybe the last boss
it's a
will.
teeny one. Yeah.
Teeny one.
The first one is 5 item levels higher, and the second one is 10.
Okay.
So Mythic Unot is at 425 loot, which is currently the Titan Forge cap.
Gotcha. All right. Well, there you go. So if you haven't been lucky with Titan Forges, at least you can go there and pick up the gear. If you can kill it, of course. So yeah, short raid. And apparently this might also overlap with MDI.
Yeah, because, you know, MDI cups start on, I believe, the 30th or 31st of March. And there's, you know, it alternates like west, east, and there's more than one round. And they haven't announced the full schedule, so a lot of people are concerned that if they're doing high-end PvE, yes, Crucible is only a 2-boss raid, but it's still, you know, bragging rights for a high ranking, and they're concerned about missing one thing to participate in the other. So I'm curious to see how that plays out. It would be unfortunate for things to overlap. Especially because, you know, they're trying to expand esports and make things more accessible to enter. And it would be too bad if they're forcing you to choose. Like, I remember, why am I blanking on the name? There's like, I think there was someone who was definitely like, you know, top arena and top MDI, and, you know, also rating, and it just sucks. It sucks to choose. It feels bad.
It really does. And I was told, or not told, I was reminded that this is around the same time as TwitchCon EU as well. So then I have friends, for example, Viklund in Method, who is not going to go to TwitchCon EU anymore because there's too many things happening right after that weekend. So he needs to, you know, prep for that because he does raiding, he does MDI. So, yeah, it's a tough time around then. That's for sure. Yeah. So, maybe they will hopefully get the kinks out when it's only a 2-boss raid overlapping, and hopefully this will not happen again. But I also feel like it's not esports' fault. It's probably like, you know, maybe marketing saying, hey, we want this a certain way, or I don't think it was deliberate, like making you choose if you want to do dungeons or raid, but I hope you don't have to choose before that in the future. I doubt it was done on purpose. It just probably just happened, and then they couldn't change it for whatever reason, because then it would overlap with something else probably. So yeah, it happened. Hopefully it won't happen again, at least. I also saw somebody in the chat asking about what about ahead of the curve. There is no ahead of the curve achievement going away. The I believe this tier ahead of the curve will go away with 8.2. Am I wrong? Yeah, they made a tweet on that. Let me like, pull it up. Is it going away with Crucible of Storm? No, it's not. It's going away in with the next Rise of Ashara. I'm pulling the article so you can link to it. One sec. I think they tweeted it on Friday, maybe. I see a tweet here. Is this linked from SAS in the document? Oh, that was something I wanted to maybe share with the group in a second, because it was a video. Okay. This is the tweet. Let's see. Okay, there's the article. So it's you can obtain both until the new Rise of Ashara raid opens in patch 8.2. So that means that it's not like, oh, it's going away in May. It's going away when the raid hits, and that's after you do all the Nazjatar content. Okay. Yeah. Well, there you go then. Now you know. So you don't have to worry about ahead of the curve for next patch. Yeah. You have next week is safe. Lots of time. Yeah. You have at least 2 months. At least. Yeah. So the thing I was linking to Annie was the survival guide video just came out for this part. I guess they're calling 815 part 3. So I haven't seen this yet. I don't know if we want to maybe play it for them or see if there's anything interesting in it. I think it's everything we basically covered, but you know, I know people for better or worse like reacting to the survival guide video. So I've got it here. I don't know, it's 3 minutes. Yeah, that seems awfully long. So maybe we should just link it. Yeah, maybe just link it. Let me mute this with sound and just skim through it quickly. Go for it. I'm just making sure they're not like, oh, like, thing you didn't know about is coming. Oh, actually, there's like one thing I could highlight. Okay,
Okay, yeah.
Luna's playing with her toys in the background.
Just looking at this quickly, there are a few interesting things that they mentioned in here in the notes, which we just want to like remind people of that we didn't cover in the show. Something interesting in the related patch notes with the show is the companion app is getting an update, and it's in addition to New World Quest support, there's going to be a social feature as well as a calendar feature. I don't know what this entails, but that's coming. And something we forgot to mention, which you might care about, is Wintergrasp is coming back as an epic battleground, and Arathi Basin and Warsong are sort of unchanged, but they're going to look different. They're going to be up-resed. It will look a lot nicer and more modern. And those were some things that the video was showing off that you might be interested in.
Yeah, I see the updates now as well as I'm looking through it. Most of the things are things we've talked about. Let me link it in the chat as well in case you guys want to see it. It's a 3-minute long video. I can see that they cover the Eladraces and the things that Perk mentioned. Hati, Portal Room. Yeah, all of that stuff. Brawler Guild. Yeah. Brawlers Guild.
I felt a little daring to talk about the Portal Rooms as a new feature. Like, it's... Even if they weren't removing them, it's just like a room. But it feels a little strange after everything that's been said to talk about them, and I don't know. They should have made it more obvious that stuff was being removed.
Yeah, like it's hyped up a lot, and then there's things that we lose with it. Like, losing things is never fun. If you're used to something, you don't want it taken away.
Yeah. But yeah, also, I guess in a week, the 19th, there's going to be Comp Stomp in Arathi Basin where you play against the AI. So we get to see the Island Expedition AI in a new, interesting situation, which, maybe could open the way for more intelligent NPCs we fight in different sorts of content. We'll have to see how that turns out. But yeah, I think that is about it with the show.
Yeah.
We have a few questions. Yep. So the first question is from Aegis, and he asked, does the 425 mythic loot from the second boss of Crucible of Storms, can it war or even Titan Forge to a higher level? I'm just highlighting this, like, I don't know, but that's something I was asking in one of my past articles, because, yeah, that's a good question. Will the Titan Forge cap increase? Maybe that's something I'll message Warcraft devs about after this. Because, yeah, it's, like, right at the Titan Forge cap. So it would be convenient if you could just get the item and not have to worry about getting an even more powerful version that could have a crazier proc.
Imagine being able to progress and not have to wish for a Titan Forged piece.
I know.
It's imagine.
Like, yep.
that alone actually makes me excited for that raid.
Yep. It's like no Azerite you have to worry about, no regrinding Azerite power. Yeah.
I actually don't mind the Azerite in the raids because it's farmable, I don't like Azerite from Mythics because those are not farmable in the same way.
Right. Well, no Azerite in general, so.
Yeah, I guess there is that.
The other question is from Deadeye Gnome, who wanted to know more about the leatherworking drums that come out with 815, what the buffs were like, if they were solo, or if they're like Time Warp, which is group-wide. So to clarify what he's asking about, there are the drums, and there are 3 buffs you can get if you go up to a drum outside in the world and hit it, and you get a special buff that lasts for 30 minutes. And those buffs are... it's a Turtle's Endurance, you reduce all damage taken, you can have increased primary stat, or you can have movement speed increase. Those are all personal for 30 minutes. The other interesting part was that the item has a use effect where it increases your haste by 25% for 40 seconds. However, it's a personal buff, not a group buff, and it's on an hour-long cooldown. So it sounds like heroism, but it's very limited and situational. So maybe, for example, like if other people in your party were on cooldown, but yours was up, you could use these drums to pop it. or if you're, I don't know, about to die soloing a rare spawn, you could pop this to help yourself. But yeah, this is not a permanent raid or party-wide heroism that you've gotten. It's a solo thing on a super long cooldown. So I guess that's even worse. That I was like, oh, is this like a raid, or is it raid wide or party wide? And it's like, oh, it's neither. It's you. Yeah, it's you.
That's one person wide.
Yep. So yeah, we only had those 2 questions in for SAS. As a reminder, the giveaway is closing G time for game time. We've got nether shards.
Actually, we have a giveaway winner.
Oh,
yes.
I'm behind with the time.
It's the giveaway is actually closed. The winner was Darthego, and he has already responded as well. So congratulations on your 30 days of game time.
Yay.
Yes, everything went well, and prize has been claimed.
Yeah.
There's one little last note here. Do we reveal for next week?
Why don't we just hint at it? So we will have a guest on the show next week, and we will let her reveal it. But we are happy to trying to have guests more frequently on the show, and we hope you look forward to the guest. And whenever we have guests, the show's super long, so we'll have 815 to talk about. We'll have her area of expertise, and it should be a good time.
Yep, look forward to it already.
Yep.
And we keep that secret for now then. So we'll let her reveal, and then we'll reveal it for next show. I think that's a good plan.
And I have 2 mice now, so we'll be starting on time. Even if Bright Paw destroys one of them, we will have another.
Yep. And one of them is wireless, meaning even if he wanted to destroy it, he can't. Unless he can destroy the sensor. Do you think he can destroy it?
He's going to open it up, and he's going to take the battery and hide it somewhere.
Right. Oh.
I don't put it past him.
Yeah, I wouldn't either, to be honest. But yeah, that wraps up everything. Thank you guys so much for watching, supporting. I hope you guys are enjoying these little appreciations that we're doing for subs and everything, and the nether shards too. People have been seeing these points before and gambled with them and not really known what to do anything with them. And now what you can do is use them in the Wowhead shop to get actual physical things for this time. Yeah,
someone gambled and got 4 things.
Yeah. So you can get physical things from the Wowhead shop for spending time here. So yeah. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you all next week. Same time, -1 hour.
Yeah, and stay tuned for Wowhead in the next few days when we'll be releasing even more of our 815 patch guides. We've got Brawler's Guild. We have Crucible guides. We have different guides to quest. We've got some fun analysis pieces on the way with interesting lore twist. Today, after the show, I will be updating all the profession guides with how you farm different places for the tools of the trade drops. So yeah, next week should be pretty busy for the site. And yeah, thanks for all of the support, keeping us busy to help you out.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you guys so much, and we'll see you next week.
Yep, and we gotta do the
high five. Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Go.
Okay. So, 3, 2, 1.
Yes. Perfect high five.
Yay.
10 out of 10 points.
Yay.
All right. Bye-bye, everyone. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.